Hey everyone, welcome back to the Sussex Squad, the home of good energy, truth, and a little necessary shade when the royal gossip machine starts acting up again. Today we're diving into a story that's already sending the tabloids into a tailspin. The possibility that King Charles and Prince Harry might end up in the same country next year. Yes, same country. And you can already hear certain commentators hyperventilating like someone unplugged their Wi-Fi. Relax, peers. The world is still spinning. So here's what's going on. There are reports floating around that King Charles might visit the United States in April next year. And immediately the press acted like this was a Marvel crossover event. Will he meet Harry? Will they reconcile? Will there be tears? Will the cameras explode from the drama? Meanwhile, Harry is probably somewhere minding his business, maybe walking the dogs, maybe doing a charity call, maybe just being an actual functioning adult. Which is already more than we can say for certain royal commentators who spend their entire existence yelling about him from studio basements. Anyway, earlier this year, as we all remember, father and son did meet when King Charles was dealing with his health, and Harry flew in, like a normal, compassionate human being. And you know that had the tabloids confused. Wait, Harry showed empathy? But that doesn't fit our script. Well, maybe try a script that isn't written by people still stuck in 1952. Just saying. Now, the new speculation is that another meeting might happen when Charles visits America. Not confirmed yet. Negotiations are still underway. But apparently the idea has triggered every royal expert out of hibernation. And one of them, Jenny Bond, decided to sprinkle some skepticism into the pot. She says state visits are extremely busy, tightly scheduled, and basically Charles isn't going to hop a domestic flight to California like he's going on vacation to see the grandkids. And honestly, fair point. The man's schedule is packed tighter than British tabloids' obsessions with Meghan. It's meetings, polished shoes, handshakes, ribbon cuttings, pretending not to see people waving the wrong flag. It's exhausting. So yes, Jenny, we get it. He's not Ubering to Montecito. But then she says maybe Harry could travel to wherever the king is based, maybe New York. Because apparently the press believes Harry spends his days sitting near a suitcase waiting for the monarchy to blow a whistle. This idea that Harry is just on standby mode, like a PlayStation controller, is hilarious. Harry has a busy life, charities, Netflix projects, 2 kids, a global platform, actual responsibilities, not just wave and walk shifts. Jenny Bond continues by saying Charles would love to see the grandkids again. Interesting choice of words, because you would think, with all that love, the man could manage a FaceTime call. But hey, maybe royal Wi-Fi has palace-level buffering. Who knows? She adds that while it's possible for Harry and Meghan to meet Charles during his trip, the visit isn't the right time for patching up severely strained family relationships. And let me translate what she's really saying. The palace doesn't want any moment overshadowed by Harry and Meghan showing up and looking normal, happy and photogenic, because that would ruin the very careful royal PR storyline. That's the truth. Let's be real for a second. Any time Harry and Meghan Sussex appear in the same 50-mile radius as a royal event, the headlines immediately switch from King Charles attends meaningful diplomatic summit to Meghan breathes and the world reacts. The monarchy knows that. The press knows that. And that's why they're trembling. Their whole narrative collapses the moment Harry and Meghan simply exist in public without crying, fighting, or bowing incorrectly. It's devastating for them. What I find hilarious is how these so-called experts pretend they're concerned about stealing attention. Please, This is the same institution that leaked more stories about Meghan's avocado toast than they did about actual national issues. Suddenly, they're worried about optics. It's giving hypocrisy deluxe edition. And let's not forget, if there is a meeting, the tabloids will twist themselves into yoga positions, trying to make a negative headline out of it. If Harry doesn't go. Ungrateful son refuses to see father. If he goes, desperate Harry runs back for approval. If Meghan goes, Meghan inserts herself. If Meghan doesn't go, marriage in crisis. Honestly, they should just hand over their brains to Netflix because the creativity is impressive. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan Sussex are living life, thriving, raising their kids with love, building careers based on purpose, and not depending on taxpayers to survive. That alone keeps certain commentators awake at night. Harry is out here doing real work, real causes, with real impact. And Meghan is out here doing what she always does, staying elegant, unbothered, and triggering the entire British tabloid industry just by waking up in the morning. A queen. Now, let's talk about this idea that a reunion would overshadow the visit. Let me tell you something. If your visit can be overshadowed by a simple family reunion, maybe the visit wasn't that impactful to start with. Harry and Meghan don't overshadow. They're just interesting. The monarchy has had decades to figure out how to be interesting, but they chose to cling to outdated traditions instead. That's not Harry and Meghan's fault. That's a royal management problem. Also, this notion that Harry and Meghan shouldn't overshadow the purpose of the trip. Funny, coming from experts who spend 80% of their career obsessing over the couple and only 20% talking about the actual monarchy. If you're so worried about overshadowing, stop writing hourly opinion pieces about their grocery shopping trips. But let's put the sarcasm aside for a moment. If Charles does come to the US, and if there is an opportunity for a peaceful family moment, Harry would handle it with maturity, heart and clarity, the same way he always does. Harry has been consistent in wanting calm, boundaries and respect. The man has said it publicly. He wants healing, but he's not going to light himself on fire to keep other people warm anymore. And that's growth, that's adulthood, that's strength. And Meghan? She supports her husband, protects her peace, and prioritizes her children. If that bothers the tabloids, that's a personal problem. If it confuses the British media, maybe read a self-help book. If it offends royal commentators, well, everything offends them, so that's not new. At the end of the day, this whole story isn't really about whether Charles and Harry will meet. It's about how desperate the press is for any crumb of Harry-related drama. They need him. They depend on him. Without Harry and Meghan, half these commentators would be unemployed, sitting on their couches wondering why no one cares about their opinions on recycling bins and royal hats. So, while the world waits to see whether this meeting happens, one thing is clear. Harry and Meghan Sussex continue to live their lives authentically, lovingly, and with more dignity than the critics who try to tear them down. And that is exactly why the Sussex Squad will always support them. And that wraps up today's deep dive. If you enjoyed this breakdown, the humour, the truth, the clarity, make sure you support the channel through Super Thanks. It helps the platform grow and keeps us bringing you real Sussex content, not the recycled noise the tabloids push. And of course, don't leave without subscribing. Hit that button, join the squad and drop your thoughts in the comments, because we know you have opinions. This is the Sussex Squad, signing out, where the truth stays loud and the haters stay pressed.